Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Federal judges have issued a series of sweeping rebukes against Donald Trump, your president, administration regarding its executive actions and controversial settlement funds. Yeah, that boy was trying to get that money. Couldn't get it. Judge said, no, 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 no. Hit him with the mutombo. No, 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 no. You can't do that. In response, Trump gave all of the judges a collective look like this. He was looking at him like that. Yeah, man. Yeah. So here's the deal, fam. The most prominent recent legal reprimands and rulings against the administration include the anti-weaponization fund block. U.S. District Judge Leonie Brinkema issued an injunction temporarily blocking the government from dispersing money through Trump's $1.8 billion settlement fund. The fund was created to settle a lawsuit against the IRS and the Justice Department, prompting dozens of retired federal judges to intervene, calling the settlement an unprecedented fraud on the court. Family, the dude sued his own government. Listen, not as a citizen, but as the president of the United States. He sued his own country. He sued the IRS, an organization, well, an agency that is governed pretty much by him. And he used the DOJ, which is also governed by him, to file a lawsuit. Family. Anyway, so you had that situation. You also had the Kennedy Center stunt. A federal judge struck down the administration's attempts to officially rename the Kennedy Center, ordering the administration to remove altered signage, restore the original name, and stop closure efforts. I talked about this on yesterday. The federal judge said that Congress named the Kennedy Center, and only Congress can rename the Kennedy Center. So that didn't work out for him. Then you had the state funding and immigration. Federal courts have indefinitely frozen attempts by the Trump administration to withhold federal assistance and transportation funds from the states that refuse to participate in certain immigration enforcement actions. Judges have characterized these actions as unconstitutional power grabs that bypass Congress. Okay, then you got the law firm crackdowns. You know, when law firms file actions against Trump, he decides to weaponize the DOJ, go in and investigate him, try to make some arrests and stuff to, intimidate him, make him back down, make life hard for him, call up the other clients and say, I don't think you want to do business with these people. So here's what happened. A federal judge permanently barred the administration from executing executive orders targeting the law firm Perkins Coie, explicitly labeling the directive an unlawful attack on the basic foundations of the rule of law. Yeah, fam. And then you had the almighty deportation and First Amendment cases. Courts across the country, including judges appointed by Republican administrations, have blocked the administration's immigration and deportation directives, including a landmark 161-page ruling declaring efforts to deport pro-Palestine foreign students unconstitutional. So Trump has been taking losses left and right. He can't get out of his own way. All of a sudden, things ain't going as planned. So you know what's going to happen, right? He's going to send the troops into a city to cause chaos. He's going to perhaps drop a bomb on another country, start a war, the almighty distraction, right? Or how about one of these? This is an oldie but goodie, fake an assassination. Yeah, man, try to fake an assassination attempt on his life. Yeah, I don't believe any of those attempts were real, fam. I don't believe one of those attempts on his life was real. Not one. Not one. Because I'm going to tell you something, fam. When you make your mind up to go get the president, that's a different type of thing. And a person don't intend to miss. Like if they miss the president, they're gonna hit something. If they do miss, they're gonna hit something. This is a person who is resigned to their fate. They don't care what happens. They don't care if they get killed. They don't care if they go to jail. They don't care what happens. They've made up their mind. I'm not just killing anybody. I'm going to kill the president of the United States. Let me tell you something, fam. One thing I know for sure. A determined mind is the greatest force ever. That is one of the hardest things to stop, a determined mind. Think about yourself. Think about when you've wanted to do something, but you really didn't really want to do it, and you really didn't get around to doing it. But when you set your mind to do something, you said, I'm going to do it, and you had the talent, you had the skill to do it, you did it because you was determined. A determined mind is very difficult to stop. This is why you cannot take for granted when you're dealing with people who you think that might be beneath you. You know what you're going to do, you know what you're thinking, but you don't know what that other person is going to do, and you don't know what they're thinking. So while you run around here trying to be Billy Badass, I just saw a video. Well, I'll finish my point. While you run around here trying to be Billy Badass, there's always somebody better. I was watching a video the other day of a road rage incident where this guy was talking all tough and all this stuff, and he got out his car and approached the other guy and started wailing on him. That dude pulled out that hammer, bam, 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 bam. Life over, just like that. Now imagine before he swung on that dude, got out of that car and swung on that dude, he thought to himself, okay, I'm getting ready to get out of this car, and I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna swing on that fool. He gonna pull out a gun and he gonna gun me down, and my life gonna be over. So before I do that, let me call my wife real quickly. Okay, let me call my kids real quick. Let me call mom and dad right quick, lady. Let me call my friends. Let me let them know where my stash is. Let me divvy up my property. You get the car. You get to have my prize Jordans. You get the ring. I know you've been liking that ring, little bro. You've been liking that ring for a long time. I'm gonna give you the ring, and then okay, let me get on out here and handle this business so I can get killed. See, they don't think about all that stuff. They don't think about the details. Trump, one of those dudes, he really don't think details. Trump just thinks steamroll. You know what Trump's plan is? Do whatever the hell he wants to do, and until somebody stops him. And then when somebody stops him, he plays the victim. Like every time a judge rules against him, he tries to turn the public on the judge. He'll say, the judge is incompetent. The judge hates him. The judge is radicalized left. Every time a prosecutor comes for him, he says the prosecutor is targeting him. The prosecutor is picking on him. He's the victim. He creates chaos and plays the victim. Pay attention to that, fam, because Trump ain't the only one that does it. That is a tried and proven strategy in life. Point blank, period. Not just in politics, but politicians do it best. But in life, there are people who create chaos and play the victims. Some of you right now are sitting next to somebody who creates chaos and plays the victim. Some of you are in relationships with people who create chaos and play the victim. Some of you have friends who are always getting into something. I mean, they just can't stay out of trouble. They're always getting into something, and it's never their fault. Create chaos and play the victim. So that's what's been happening in this country for a long, long time. But nobody, and I mean nobody, does it better than Trump, because on a daily occurrence, you can see the different beefs that he have, the different issues that he have with people. The dude is problematic all day, every day. He's creating chaos and playing the victim. When he win and things go his way, he's because only I can do it, and I'm smart, and everybody else was dumb, and I did it, and I did it by myself. He never says me and such did this, or me and such did this, and my team. He always takes all the credit, and his team gives him all of the credit. Look, I'm not saying go out there and tell people everything that you're doing. Every time you do something, you reach out and say, hey, look at me, I did this, I did that. But I learned after trial and error that if you do something that's praiseworthy, you make sure people know that you did it. You make sure you take credit. Now, Trump is good with that part, which he really don't do anything hardly that's praiseworthy except to his constituents. The rest of the world looks at it like another error, right? Another failure. But when it comes to things not working out, invariably, he will not accept responsibility. You have never, ever, ever heard Trump apologize for anything. That is a problem. If there's anybody in your life, anybody in life, period, that you know that is incapable of apologizing, that's not just a flawed person. That's a person that I wouldn't want to be around, because that is a person who is afraid to accept accountability, or a person who refused to accept accountability. That is a person who is not willing to grow. That's a person that's going nowhere fast. That's a person that's going to blame you when things go wrong. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.